The assassin had had his day. Very true. He'd kidnapped Triss Merigold. It seemed like Foltest's life had not been enough. It seemed like the killer also wanted the monarch's former advisor. There was no time to think. It was time to act. Grabbing Geralt, I embarked on a voyage upriver, deeper into the Pontar Valley. If the elves could be believed, it was there that free folk from all around had assembled beneath Vergen's banners to resist the Kedweni invader. I should mention the exceptional individuals who made up my fellowship for this important quest. I usually get nervous around Scoia'tael. I see them as scoundrels and murderers and find their presence outright unwanted. But I must admit I was glad to have the help of Yorvith and his infamous bunch, who could prove highly helpful. Helpful? That's not nice. Highly useful, then.
"3,000 men, burnt to ashes in minutes."
I remember the stillness when the news reached Vengerberg. The palace, the streets, the houses, the entire capital cloaked in silence.
The cries were here, every last man. I was somewhere beyond that hill, in the middle of the massacre.
What is your intention, Saskia?
I intend to stop Aedirn from being sold.
We cannot afford a war with Henselt. We must parley.
Leave issues of war to me, Prince. Concentrate on King Henselt. Yarpen Zigrin claims he's short-tempered. Provoke him to strike, and we'll negotiate once the battle's won.
I still cannot fathom why the nobles betrayed us.
Spit on the nobles, Prince. They've meant nothing since the day my peasant force scattered them on the Dyfni.
By the good deity Creve, my lord. The girl is a demon incarnate.
Firstly, the girl has a name. Secondly, she's the best commander I have. All others have betrayed me.
But she's a monster. Creve spoke to me in a dream. I saw a snake-like she-demon devour your heritage.
Silence, Olcan. We near the meeting place.
The Aedirnian rebel.
She looks right battle-hardened, she does.
Who's the one in the plate armor?
We shall sign everything, Your Majesty. As you.
We have guests. Welcome, Stennis, son of Demavend. I invite you to join us.
Greetings, Henselt. You seem at home in Aedirn. You are here, yet I do not recall inviting you.
Felot did so in your stead. I'm here at his behest. I've broken no truces or treaties yet.
Oh, is that so? Mr. Brogan, please escort Count Felot to a secluded spot and remove his troublesome head.
Don't you dare, boy. You're no king. Your father.
My father is dead. The folk still mourn him while you betray his good name and his country.
Your Majesty, I must request your protection. This young man has lost his mind.
Take him away.
Your Majesty, what of our agreement?
I need you no longer, Felot, now Stennis is here.
Anyone else wish to object? Wonderful. To the matter at hand, then.
Well said. I will show you my hand. I've over 200 armed men encamped nearby, enough to hold the fort for several hours. Another 5,000 battle-hungry lads await on the other bank. What say you to that?
In attacking Aedirn, you would break the provisions of the Peace of Sintra. All the northern kingdoms will be obliged to support me.
None will stand with you.
Radovid of Redania, the Dukes of the South.
You dream, boy. They're not to be counted on. And the treaty, I piss on it as do they. You are alone.
Not entirely.
I'll stay out of this, Saskia.
Well, well, she has a voice. Saskia the Dragon Slayer. You're much prettier than they claim. You'll need to throw in the last two. Peasants should work the fields, not rebel and burn down the estates of their masters. It's to your advantage to give her up.
I'll not allow it. This land is under my protection. If no one else has the courage to stand up to you, I will. Listen well, King. You have 1 hour to quit Upper Aedirn with your forces. If you fail to do so, it's war. If but one Cadweni soldier remains on this land 1 minute past the deadline, it's war. You will instruct your heralds to proclaim around and about that you apologize to the people of Aedirn for this shameful incursion. Otherwise, it's war.
You've got balls, woman. My soldiers would call me a coward. Or a madman. I am Henselt of Ad Caraig. I'll not run from a woman, even a dragon slayer. That apart, you're a pretty fetching lass. I want this land. I want its gold. And I want you, dragon slayer. Grab them!
Stop! Stop in the name of Kriv, Freyr and Melitele!
Hey! By the milk of Mercreatrix's tits, Geralt of Rivia! And of the best company to boot.
Yarpen Zigrin!
It's been years, you old prick. It's great to see you in good health.
Geralt, staring as if you've seen a ghost. Muster up a hug for an old friend.
Geralt's head's not exactly on straight.
Ha! Meaning you truly did in Foltest. Fine by me. Foltest was a ploughing niggard and a niggardly plougher. You did right, Geralt.
Not the point. Geralt's lost his memory.
And I didn't kill Foltest.
Right. What's the difference? Someone did. But we've bigger problems now.
Where's Saskia?
Oh, aye. Why is this butcher here?
I've come with 100 archers, the best in the world. We're here to aid your cause.
Well, you'll need to wait. Saskia and Prince Penis, rather Skinnis, went off to parley with Henselt. Me and the boys are waiting in case something goes wrong. The sun's gone dark. Call the sorceress!
Come, Geralt. She must not die!
She'll show us the way.
Yorvith, you've got some explaining to do.
My elders' blood. Great.
Silver harms me. I'll cover you.
Marty, help me!
Shut up, Wand.
hate flying through fog. Saskia, are you all right?
It's just a flesh wound. You and the Witcher, we owe you our lives.
I'm here to protect you. And you, Witcher?
I'm after a Kingslayer who kidnapped Triss Merigold.
And brought her here?
Is this an interrogation?
There are warrants on your head in Temeria, Kedwin, and Redania. And I'm responsible for Saskia's safety.
That's enough, Philippa. You told me yourself you thought him innocent.
Saskia, folk are riled. First the sun went out, then the squirrels arrived, now this fog. It's too much for the common folk.
True. Summon all the commanders to the meeting hall. Yorveth, give me some time. I must prepare them for your arrival. Witcher, Philippa, you must be there too. I wish to hear what we can expect from this anomaly and how we might be rid of it. Worry not, Yarpen. The legendary White Wolf and the equally famous Philippa Eilhart should have a remedy for several hundred rabid wraiths. I want to see all commanders in the council chamber. Philippa, that includes you and the Witcher. Cecil, the gates are to remain shut until we're done. You'll answer with your beard if they open for any reason.
Welcome to Vergen, Witcher. I'm Cecil Burden, the Alderman.
Geralt of Rivia.
We've got a spare room at the inn. It's not much, but at least you'll have a roof over your head and a solid bed neath your arse.
Thanks, I could use that.
Scalen, show Master Geralt to his quarters, and visit Reverend Alcon's chambers on your way back to inform everyone that he has departed.
That is, that he died a hero, slain by the invaders.
Exactly. You see, Master Witcher? He's young but clever. We'll make a real dwarf out of him yet.
Look, another one. You let one human in and in no time you've got a swarm. Ants there. I heard human women need only sit astride a man's breast for their bellies to...
This shall be your chamber, Witcher. They say Selkirk of Gullet himself slept in this bed before battle. Didn't bring him any luck, but at least he was well rested before he died. Need anything else?
Thanks, Scalen.
You missed quite a scrap, gentlemen, and an opportunity to slay a monarch. There was a struggle and the prince was wounded.
You've all seen the magical phenomenon covering the battlefield. For any who still have doubts, this is no mundane mist, nor a petty fairground illusion. Most likely, we're up against a blood curse, an old and powerful spell. We do not know who cast it or why. For now, I have one piece of good news and several pieces of bad news. The good news is that Henselt and his army have been halted for the time being.
And the bad news?
The mist will grow. It may even engulf Vergen. Furthermore, wraiths may emerge from it.
Can they be made penitent? With an axe to the head?
In theory, yes.
but I would suggest putting your faith in a silver weapon. Furthermore, the ghosts will weaken as they move away from the mist.
Is there any way to drive it off? Exorcise it?
A question for myself and Geralt of Rivia.
The Kingslayer?
Contrary to what old women at the wells say, he did not, in fact, slay any kings.
Of course he didn't. Wouldn't hurt a fly, that one. Look at his eyes. You'll see he's the sensitive kind.
Whatever you may see in his eyes, few know more about lifting curses. Gentlemen, I do not require you to understand this phenomenon, but there are a few rules I insist you must follow.
Here we go.
No one is to approach the mist. It is mortally dangerous. In addition, we need to learn the story of the battle. For this, I especially count on the aid of Mr. Cecil Burden.
At your service, my lady.
Thank you. To lift the curse, we require some objects symbolic of the war. Ones belonging to those who perished here 3 years past.
Pfft. More scrap iron from that massacre lying about than lice in Cecil's beard. I thought curses were best handled with...
Please leave the thinking to me, Mr. Zigrin, and I'd gladly hear less from you from now on. The objects must be magically active and strictly linked to the ghosts of the fallen. That is all.
Let me be clear. You're all to aid Philippa and the Witcher. What are you grumbling about now, Yarpen?
It's something in my gullet.
Take a swig of wine. Now, to worldly matters. How many are we?
Saskia, you know well...
How many?
We dwarves are near 200, but don't judge us by our number.
1,500 peasants will come, though you'll get no precise count.
My lords?
53 knights and another 200 armed men. Not enough.
Henselt leads 5,000, 5-1 against us. What think you of that?
We are few, they are many, but we have our walls, low though they be. If we had archers, who knows?
Oh, for a regiment of heavy arbalists from Lyria!
We have something better. Yorvith's elves. Scoia'tael. Gentlemen, I give you Yorvith.
What do you seek here, murderer?
100 of the North's best archers await your orders, Dragon Slayer.
You wished for archers, here they are. I take no pleasure in fraternizing with elves, but even a shit-coated stick can be a weapon.
He burned down the villages of many in my horde.
The free peasantry is one thing, but a criminal with a price on his head in all the Northern realms? This is too much.
Saskia, say the word and we'll depart.
Hear me out. Yorvith came to fight for me. I trust him, and I know that he'll stay the course. Just like each of you.
How could you know that? He's an elf! Treason runs in his veins!
He's been fighting humans for a century.
But for the first time in scores of years, his fight makes sense. The Scoia'tael know no peace. They've died for Nilfgaard, for the Valley of the Flowers, in vain. They've been betrayed and cheated. Now they have a new goal. The Pontar Valley could be the first state where no man would have to fear elven arrows when venturing beyond city walls. And elves and dwarves wouldn't live in ghettos or on reservations. First, however, we have a battle to win. You know who we're up against. It's a splendid army, brave and well led. They cannot be scared off or routed. They have to be killed. I want Yorvith to sit at the same table as we do. I want him to kill Cadwenny for us. And I assure you that he'll do so with a smile, if only you let him.
If I'm to see a smile on that skinny face, I'm in. Yorvith stays.
Bloody hell! Father's turning in his grave, but a must's a must. I say aye.
Nay, you killed my men, elf. Remember them?
If I hadn't killed them, they'd have killed me.
All right. For the sake of better times, and for Kedwin's doom, aye!
Down with the sons of bitches! Cheers!
Poison! She's dying. Take her somewhere safe and guard her with your lives. I'll gather what I need and join you soon.
I'll place my best warriors on watch.
Quickly, lads! A litter!
She ceased casting spells.
Saskia, is she alive?
In a manner of speaking. I've slowed her life functions as far as possible. Her condition is stable.
Do you know the poison?
Thaumadour, commonly known as mage pain. It has a terrible reputation.
An antidote must exist.
What can we do?
Treatment will require herbs, magic, and blood.
Not ordinary blood, I presume.
Correct. We require royal blood.
We could use Letho right now.
The nearest king is on the other side of the Mist of Wraiths.
You misunderstood me. It need not be the blood of a ruling monarch. It is the genotype contained in royal blood that is required. Kings issue from ancient dynasties. Over the ages, to survive, rulers needed exceptional resistance and strength. As royal dynasties rarely admit common blood, the strength of their genes remains great. I shall employ self-healing genetic therapy that will teach Saskia's body how to rid itself of the poison.
You'll have her drink human blood.
No, I shall inject it directly into her heart.
What kind of herbs are we talking about?
I'll need a subterranean variety of purple foxglove, known to the dwarves as the Immortelle, and an elven rose of remembrance.
Where will we find immortelles?
They grow deep beneath the earth, which should not be a problem as Vergen lies on top of a mine.
How will they help Saskia?
Mage pain wreaks havoc in internal tissues. The Immortelle will help restore them.
Triss had a rose of remembrance. She claimed the flowers are exceptional.
Long ago, the Enshe who succeeded in cultivating the roses enjoyed great respect.
Times have changed.
As have elves.
There are no elven gardens nearby. We must return to Flotsam.
Triss has a rose of remembrance from Flotsam. It's her we need to find. What else do you need to heal Saskia?
Thaumadour is a self-perpetuating substance. Any incursion into a cluster of poisoned cells causes an immediate chain reaction. Each tainted cell that is removed is replaced by 10 new tainted cells. To interrupt this reaction, I'll need an ungodly amount of the power. A water or air genie, or one of the 20 legendary rings of power would be best.
One to bring them all and in the darkness bind them.
Right. And then I'll have to run barefooted to the top of a volcano.
All right. Let's forget the rings. I need a vast quantity of the power, no matter the source. Find something.
An immortelle, a rose of remembrance, royal blood and magic sounds like a fairy tale.
A poor one at that. No prince's kiss to top things off.
I wish it were a fairy tale, especially a poor one, as a happy ending would then be inevitable. May I count on your help, Geralt?
You may. What about the Battle of Wraiths?
I must first see if the spells keeping Saskia alive are in order. Then we'll consider how best to send the spectres to their rest. Actually, you could tend to that yourself. Ask the locals about the battle. Maybe you'll learn something.
In that case, I shall search for the poisoner.
Only Philippa Eilhart may enter.
People of Vergen, We have a magical mist full of ghosts just outside our walls, so you'd better think twice before entering it. The mist, may the plague take it, threatens all manner of creatures. So anyone headed to the quarries or walking through the gullies should take exceptional heed. The squirrels that have made camp by the burnt huts are not our enemies, so says Saskia. So it is. Master Geralt of Rivia and Sorceress Philippa Eilhart will deal with the mist and the wraiths. Now, open the gates and get to work.
How are things?
Everyone awaits the battle. Some pray, others drink. Zoltan and Yarpen are chasing peasants around the square. They need a bit of drilling. Yorveth's warriors are trying to be inconspicuous, so they should. I'd feel better if they crawled up the devil's arse and disappeared. But Saskia thinks we don't stand a chance without them.
How long have you been alderman?
My predecessor was killed 3 years ago. I was one of his advisors. I knew my way round this circus, so I volunteered to manage things. No one opposed me. Mostly I deal with trade and taxes, and I organize assorted matters. In the end, everyone listens to Saskia exclusively, me included.
This must be the first revolt ever to be taxed.
We can't feed ourselves nor fortify our walls with rebel slogans alone. But rest easy. Stennis and the nobles won't get a single oren from us. Though, of course, the prince is just waiting for the right moment to get his grubby hands on our finances.
I'm sure his motivations are pure, and he'll do it exclusively out of regard for his subjects.
Don't forget about the monsters in the pit.
Pray tell, what compels you to disturb the Prince of Aedirn, Witcher?
I have a few questions.
And you believe I should answer them instead of setting my dogs on you?
I think your Royal Highness has enough foes. Here, abroad, in Vengerberg.
The intricacies of succession are not something I wish to discuss with an itinerant monster slayer.
Succession is the topic of choice in about every inn in the country. I don't know for sure, but I think the hangman of Vengerberg was the last to claim the throne.
My patience has its limits, and at present, only my respect for Lady Saskia restrains my anger. Come to the point, or leave me be.
Don't change the subject, Prince.
So be it. Let us set our differences aside and speak as equals.
Then tell me what you're doing so far away from the capital. Why aren't you in Vengerberg being crowned?
Well, sadly, my position is not strong there. My father emboldened the nobles. The great families have decided in this hour, so critical for the realm, to revolt.
Your title to the throne is indisputable.
Aedirn has become a lawless land, ruled by those who wield might, by those whom people follow. I intend to show just how worthy I am of the crown, and thus claim what's mine.
By returning to Vengerberg a hero, there should be no shortage of opportunities here.
I don't like your tone, Witcher.
I'm trying to figure out where this fog came from. What exactly happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt's mages committed mass murder. A dark day for the knighthood and all people of honor. But it was honor that allowed us to survive. There was no defeat, no victory. Honor stood against wickedness, virtue against black magic.
You took part in that battle?
My father stayed in the capital. He was to defend Vengerberg. I took to the field. I wanted to stop Henselt before he crossed the Pontar, but I was too late. So I decided to await him at Vergen. Henselt's army was exhausted. We would have triumphed if not for that heinous act. Henselt had mages with him, and they cast a treacherous spell on the entire battlefield. A fiery rain fell from the heavens. Destructive, murderous embers which brought the battle to an end. I gathered the few survivors and withdrew deep into the country. The soldiers were terrified, but Henselt showed no desire to pursue.
Only a master mage could have cast such a powerful spell, and I suspect he could not have accomplished it alone.
I remember Sabrina Glevissig. Through the flames I saw her observing the carnage from her mount, dressed in a hunting suit. Straight-backed, dispassionate.
Sabrina. If I remember correctly, she's Henselt's advisor.
Was. Henselt condemned her to death for casting that spell. The Kedwenis roasted in their armour, just the same way the Aedirnians did. You know what struck me when all hell broke loose? What I found astonishing and even amusing? Going into battle we sang our Aedirnian songs. They intoned their Kedweni hymns to Creve. But when fire descended from the sky, our cries of pain were no different. We all wailed as humans. For an instant, the magnitude of the tragedy brought together our two warring nations.
I still have no idea where the spectral fog came from.
I'm afraid I don't know either.
I need royal blood.
As you know, I've yet to be Crad.
But blood of your royal ancestors flows through your veins.
Oh, true, but that doesn't mean I'll shed a drop for some vagabond. Are you a witcher or a vampire?
I need it to save Saskia.
I need you to live. Don't bother me with such audacious proposals.
You might be surprised, Prince, but I have more political experience than I'd like.
The famous Geralt of Rivia, invited to the table by Calanth, Foltest's little favourite. I've heard you've even parleyed with the Emperor of Nilfgaard. Think I'm impressed? Calanth is dead. Meve curses your name when she hears it. Foltest was murdered before your very eyes, and the Emperor, as I heard it, he thought you insignificant.
Are you going somewhere with this?
Indeed. You should know that a king sometimes needs a hired thug to take care of dirtier deeds. If the thug is naive enough, instead of reaching into his purse, the king buys him with virtuous words, the flash of his rings, pledges of friendship. And when, having done his deed, the thug departs, swaggering proudly like a peacock, the king discreetly giggles. Truly, I never thought you could be so pitiful.
What is it, Witcher?
Who is that girl?
Cynthia, a leashed sorceress.
A charming expression. Do you also use muzzles?
Leash means a connection between a sorceress and her assistant. An unfortunate term, I admit, but it explains how things are. Cynthia can tap my power, use my spells. She's a conduit. And she's learning along the way. It's convenient, and except for the name, not derisive at all. But you're not here to talk about Cynthia.
At the council, you mentioned artifacts were needed to undo the curse.
But I can't look for them now.
I can do that.
Why?
I have my reasons. Tell me something. What happened here 3 years ago?
Henselt attacked Aedirn, but met his match. Nobody won that war. Sabrina Glefisig got into a conflict with the commander-in-chief of the Kedweni forces, and this led to both armies being routed. Fireballs turned the battlefield into a flaming tomb. Henselt accused Sabrina of using a forbidden weapon.
And Sabrina cursed Henselt.
I think so. I suspect the curse got out of hand because of the circumstances.
Circumstances? The stars weren't right, wrong phase of the moon. There's always an excuse for simple bungling.
She placed the curse while burning at the stake. Her hands and feet nailed to a wagon wheel. I'd say she did a good job, considering.
Know anything about blood curses?
Do you?
We're dealing with a 4th level curse, also known as the Curse of the Archmistress.
Well, well, I'm impressed.
Thing is, until now I thought it was only a myth, that such a curse couldn't be cast.
You thought wrong. There are 6 confirmed cases of this curse being inflicted.
What about confirmed cases of it being lifted?
1. Achieved by a team of sorcerers led by Archmistress Francesca Finderbear, hence the curse's other name. Sabrina Glefisig was on the team.
Small world.
That's not all. The curse investigated by Francesca and Sabrina was designed to end the Tyson dynasty, the rulers of Kovir. They were cursed by Scarlet Rodalega, a complete madman, but very talented. An eclipse and wraiths also accompanied his curse.
So Sabrina's curse is just a knockoff Rodalega?
Exactly.
Can Francesca's experience help us?
Certainly. I know the symbols and the workings of the curse thanks to her.
Care to explain? I'm the one risking my neck.
You'll have to relive the battle and change its course at the right moment. I don't know exactly what will happen. Nobody does.
Huh. I'll look for those artifacts. Did you notice? Not all the ghosts were aggressive.
Yes. Most just disappeared when they touched the aura of a living person.
I think the curse corrupts the ghosts of the fallen and turns them into draugrs.
Is that the Witcher's professional name for wraiths?
Draugrs are demons of war. They arise at sites of exceptionally vicious, bloody battles. Their bloodlust and hatred in condensed form.
Can you kill them by conventional means?
A silver sword is enough for a draugr, but as long as the curse remains active, new ones will arise. The soldiers' ghosts are the key. If I could turn the tide of the battle...
For that you'll need symbols of war belonging to those who fell in battle. Hatred, death, courage, and faith. All artifacts must be magically active and connected to the fallen, or they won't lure the ghosts.
Right. I'll look around.
Finding 2 will be enough. Get the symbols of hatred and death and leave the rest to me.
I'd prefer courage and faith.
Don't fuss.
I'll see what I can do. Cecil seems to know a lot about the area. I'm good for now. I'll let you know when I learn something.
You wanted to discuss something?
You said we'd need a magical object to cure Saskia. Any ideas where I might start looking?
Magical items do not grow on trees, as you know. Luckily, this area has a long history. There's the Battle of Wraiths, the site of Sabrina Glevisig's death and suffering, the abandoned mines.
I was hoping you'd be specific.
I won't ask you to traipse around with a divining rod, but please try to be a little inventive. Ask the locals, that's always a good place to start. I dare say Alderman Burden knows every last stone in the area. Maybe you should see him.
I'm looking for Triss. Letho forced her to teleport near Vergen.
Letho?
Foltest's killer, perhaps Demavend's too. Will you help me find her?
Certainly. We sorceresses must stick together. We have too many enemies.
Triss contacted you through Sheila de Tanzerville's megascope while in Flotsam.
And I haven't heard from her since.
Can you locate her?
A megascope responds to a person's aura. If I had something of hers, I could find her. You were close to her. Maybe you have something.
No, I don't have anything.
Not good. Wait. A local drunkard claims he saw a redhead fall out of the sky. This could be a lead.
I never heard of flying women before.
Perhaps they're just drunken delusions. It's possible, however, that an unstable teleport ejected Triss near the town.
As it's our only lead, I'll talk to this drunkard. Do you know him?
I'm not used to associating with drunkards, but you'll likely find him in the inn.
Thank you.
Come back as soon as you learn anything. You wanted to discuss something?
How is it that King Radovid's court sorceress and advisor is supporting rebellion in Aedirn?
This has grown into more than a simple rebellion, Witcher. Prince Stennis' arrival here confirmed Saskia's right to represent Aedirn.
Saskia isn't fighting for Aedirn, but for the Pontar Valley. Even Prince Stennis considers you rebels. He hasn't moved against you because war with Kedwen hangs by a thread. Why are you here, Sorceress of Tretogor?
It is my duty. If Henselt occupies the Pontar Valley, Redania and Temeria will respond strongly. The North will disintegrate, its unity gone. A dark scenario that is nevertheless avoidable, provided Saskia is successful and wins the Valley's independence.
Even if she thwarts Henselt, there'll be no independence without agreement from Redania and Temeria.
Temeria's expansionist plans melted away with Foltest's death. Redania's ruler is unpredictable, but even he'll have to respect a victory. I'm here to make this victory a fact.
Is what they say true? Did Saskia kill a dragon?
Prince Stennis decorated her for it at the court in Vengerberg, so it appears to be true. If you want to know the details, talk to Biggerhorn. Apparently he witnessed it.
Have you heard about a Witcher's school? Apparently the Viper's their sign.
No, why do you ask?
The Kingslayer wears a medallion adorned with a viper.
Pretentious and childish for my taste. He can't be very smart.
A sorceress like you ought to know bundles about the wild hunt.
A sorceress's knowledge has nothing to do with superstitions.
The hunt's not a superstition.
True, the phenomenon seems to exist.
I want to know everything there is to know about it.
It's strictly atmospheric. It doesn't interest me. Just as whirlwinds, whirlpools, and snowfalls do not interest me. Remember the antidote for Saskia. It's very important.